How's it going, everyone? My name is Jake. I go by JRightFlips here on social media, and I am a full-time reseller on platforms such as eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, Amazon, and First Class Treasures. If you guys are interested in learning about how to sell on eBay, I'm going to be doing a live Q&A today about reselling on eBay. So if you guys have any questions about reselling, about eBay, the platform specifically, if you have questions about Amazon, about thrifting, about yard sales, if you guys have questions about any sort of business or finances, I love to talk about taxes and stocks and all of that good stuff as well. So if you guys have any questions about reselling in any aspect, please go ahead and ask them. And for those of you that are watching this later, go ahead and listen to the questions and the answers. I think it can definitely help people make more money on eBay, because reselling on eBay and all these other platforms is an awesome blessing. It can make you a ton of money, and it can give you a lot of time to spend with your family and enjoy a work-life balance. In the beginning, especially, and some people never grow out of this, which is a trap and mistake, but in the beginning, you are going to be spending a ton of time in this business. And in order to get it off the ground, you have to dedicate many, many hours per week and during your day to be able to get to a point where you can make a full-time living. But when you do things correctly, you can get to a point where you do not have to be on your phone 70 hours per week in this business. You don't have to be sourcing every single day. You don't have to do all of these things every single hour of your business, because it can become very taxing. A lot of different resellers feel like they always have to be on their phone and always are answering questions and are always looking for items, when in reality, you can run a very stable business working about 40 hours per week, which is the American average of full-time job. And you can just answer all of your questions in the morning or the next day. Customer service is key, and you always want to help your customers as much as you can, but you don't have to ruin your life always being on your phone, missing out on raising your kids or enjoying time with your spouse or your family because you have to answer every single question on eBay as they come in. People can wait till tomorrow, and every once in a while you'll lose a sale because of that, but that's okay, because you are running an awesome business that generates daily sales, and you don't have to be married to your phone. You should be married to your spouse if you're married. Anyway, I would love to answer any of your guys' questions. If you guys have questions about promoted listings or shipping or titles and descriptions, if you have questions about how to find and locate better items, if you guys want to ask questions about psychological tips on how to get things cheaper or when you should go to thrift stores, if you guys have questions about returns or anything like that, if you guys have any questions about my new reselling platform, First Class Treasures, if you guys have any questions about taxes and personal finance and anything business related, I love all business entrepreneurship content, so I'm happy to answer any and all questions. So Kevin Hawthorne is here. Good evening from Lakeland, Florida. Appreciate you being here, Kevin. You're always one of the first, if not the first, in here. Hope you had a great Easter. I did have a great Easter. Easter was awesome. I was able to spend Friday and Saturday with my family in St. George, and then I was able to spend Sunday with my family here in northern Utah. So it was great. Got to see both sides of the family. How's it going? Papu Ranks, Los Angeles. Found you live again. Thanks for being here, faithful listener. Yeah, I recognize your what's it called? Profile picture, but did you change your name? Because I think you had a different name. I always feel like I am in the way when looking up items at the thrift store. Is that just something I will have to get over, or is there a way to look without being in the way? No, yeah, like you always want to be like aware of your surroundings and being polite, but you're not in the way. I mean, if you like go to a aisle and you like position your cart to where other people can't get in the aisle, then yeah, that's rude and you shouldn't be doing that. But yeah, like you are there looking up items in a thrift store, the other people looking at the thrift store don't own the thrift store, so they should give you your space. If you are looking at items, you have the right to look at those items, and people can get pretty close to you or just keep their distance, whatever they want to do. But it's just important to be respectful of other people and hope that they're being respectful to you. Hi, Scout. How do I verify and confirm a 1600 Chrome Hearts hoodie is real on eBay? You can use like check and things like that, but you can't really confirm it on eBay because there's fakes out there, and some fakes are better than others. Some are really good, and you don't know until you have it actually authenticated. So there's apps that you can use to have these things authenticated and things like that. Hi, Jake. I paused Reseller Island to jump over here. Appreciate that, Mary. Yeah, if you guys haven't checked out the Reseller Island podcast yet, definitely check it out. Me, Keith, Vintage Sport Flips, and Shane, Soda City Flips, do a podcast that goes live every Monday. We record every Thursday. And we had the rad picker, Scott, on our podcast this week, and it was really fun. So, y'all be sure to check out the Reseller Island podcast. Appreciate that, John. Thank you very much. I did change my name. Used to be Yard Sale Steals. That's what I thought. What is the most important thing I need to learn as a beginner in reselling on eBay? I'm so confused about shipping. Awesome. I love this question. Faith, the most important thing that you need to learn as a reseller is that sourcing is the absolute most important part of your business. And it is the part of your business that can make you thrive. And at the same time, it is also the part of business that can put you out of business very quickly. So what you need to do is get better and better at sourcing every single day and every single week. And don't fall in love with shopping. Fall in love with buying profitable items that move quickly. So a lot of people end up buying too much, and then they have a death pile, and they don't list too many items, or they buy too many items, and even though they're listing them, they don't have a fast enough sell-through rate, so they're not getting their money back. So they are just buying and listing away and only selling a couple of items every day or week, and they're not actually profitable because they're just spending too much money because they love shopping. If you want to make more money, then you must get better at finding profitable items that move at a faster and faster rate. So the easiest way to make more money in your reselling business is to find better items. And that is a skill that anyone in any part of the country can acquire. So I would spend, but also if you don't list your items, then you won't make money, obviously. But it is still more important to find profitable inventory than to just list inventory. So don't fall in love with just buying everything that you think is cool. A lot of resellers have an issue with when they comp things, they'll see that there are sales in the last 90 days. So they'll just buy it because, oh, a few of them have sold, maybe mine will. I always use Frank Sinatra CDs as an example because if we look it up, if we just look up Frank Sinatra CD, Frank Sinatra CD, there are 33,000 available on eBay, and there are only 2,500 sold. So if you take 2,500 divided by 90, that means there are 28 Frank Sinatra CDs selling on eBay every single day, which is great. That's a ton. Like 27 every single day is great. However, there are 33,000 listed and only 250 have sold. 2,500 have sold. That means 27 are selling daily, but there are 33,000 listed. So the chance of someone finding your Frank Sinatra CD amongst those 33,000 is going to be very low. But if there are 200 Frank Sinatra CDs listed and 2,500 sold in the last 90 days, yours is going to sell in under a week because they are all moving so quickly. So sourcing is by far the most important. Make sure that you are finding as many high sell-through rate profitable items as possible. Ross Grant says, I live in a competitive area. Thrift stores seem to price everything high, and it feels like I have left all our slim pickings. What are your strategies on getting the good stuff fast and passing? So this is I don't think there isn't an area in the country that isn't like this. Did that make sense in English? So there's always going to be competition, and it's always going to seem like there are slim pickings. So you just have to understand the schedule of your thrift stores, and getting there when they're putting the product out is going to be the best way to actually get those good items, because there is competition. But going to thrift stores throughout the day is a very good strategy as well, because your competition isn't perfect. Especially in my case, I scream and shout from the rooftops about all of these electronics that I'm selling, and I have 20 to 40 people in line at every single one of my thrift stores in Salt Lake area every single morning, and I always get hundreds of dollars of electronics every single day, because most people just want to look for Beanie Babies and china and glass, right? So you can always expand and find Finland cranks. You can always find watches. You can always find electronics and Beanie Babies and clothes and everything. I think the best strategy is to just keep pushing yourself to learn more and more about items and look up more items. So another reseller in my area asked if he could just so we went to the thrift store. We were both there at open. I walked away with 11 items and he got 0. And he said, "Do you mind if I take a look at your cart just to see what I'm doing wrong and what I missed?" And I said, "Yeah, just so you know, there's nothing special about me. I don't have any specialized knowledge of anything. I just look up more items." So he just didn't look up enough items. I looked up 40 items and walked away with 11 of them. A lot of us just get too prideful that we think we know everything, or we think we know things that are valuable, when in all reality, the market is always smarter than us, because the market is the one buying things. So look up more items. And Ross, I think you're a little bit in your own way, because there's always good stuff. People say all the time, the only reason why I'm successful is because I'm in Utah. But every time I go to California and Arizona and Kentucky and Ohio and Florida, I've thrifted in all of these places, and I just get good stuff everywhere I go. Like, I really believe that it's the user, not the environment. Because the environment is always different everywhere you go. But I just find good, profitable stuff everywhere I go in this country. You also have to realize thrift stores are not the only place to get inventory. Most resellers on YouTube don't even really go to thrift stores. They just go to yard sales and flea markets and things like that. So you might be relying too heavily upon thrift stores as well. Are you using an AI program to resell and cross post, and which one do you recommend? So I use Crosslist. I use Flip. It's FLYP. It is free for your first 100 days, and then it's just $9 a month after that. It's very affordable, but it's a bit slower. And then I also use Crosslist, which I think is like $25 to $50 a month, something like that. And I am able to cross-list everything in seconds. So I post all of my items on eBay, and then I use Crosslist to cross-list those to Poshmark and Mercari. And the process of that is ultra quick on Crosslist. There's a link to both of those in the description below. If I offer free shipping, do I still have to put in the dimensions just starting out? Do I just take it to the post office and they calculate it there? No, you definitely calculate before you sell the item. So if you sell something and you don't put in the dimensions, then you're probably going to sell it and you're going to charge your buyer, let's say $8 for shipping. But then you're going to get to the thrift, then you're going to get to the post office, and it's going to be like $24 because you didn't put in the dimensions. So, like, if you are selling this, for example, if you're selling this stereo, you're going to want to measure it. Okay. This is 7 inches by 8 inches by 2 inches. Okay. This is going to go in some bubble wrap in a box. The bubble wrap is probably going to add 2 inches either direction. And then the box is going to add another inch on top of that. So you're going to want to take these dimensions and then add 3 inches to each side. So I would put this as 10 by 10 by 5. And you're also going to want to weigh it beforehand. So I have a scale right next to me. So you always round up to the nearest pound when you're shipping. So this weighs 2 pounds and 11 ounces, 2 pounds and 9 ounces. So you want to do $3 shipping. But the box and bubble wrap and like packing paper and stuff is actually going to weigh a decent amount. So I would actually bump that up another pound to 4 pounds. So you want to put 4 pounds and then dimensions with extra inches on top of the length of your items. So that way people are actually paying necessarily for your shipping. I have a few videos on shipping here on YouTube if you want to look them up. And I'm also going to be coming out with some new updated shipping videos soon as well. But yeah, guys, we're 16 minutes in. There's 70 people in here and we have 0 questions. So if you guys have any questions about eBay or reselling or thrift stores or my new reselling platform, if you guys have any questions about anything, I'd love to answer them. But if not, I guess we'll just end this super ultra early because first time we've had 0 questions like this. So yeah, I'm just gonna chew on this beef jerky for a minute. And if nobody has questions, then we'll hop out of here. But yeah, beef jerky's good. I would love to actually hang out with you guys for a while. So if you guys have any questions, please put them in here. Also, ask me anything about investments or taxes or business. I love talking about it all. I've been selling for years. Currently, I have 40 items listed, and they are items that are selling consistently within the week from other sellers, but mine are barely getting views. Any tips? Yeah, watch more YouTube content of me and Tech and Sports and Daily Refinement, people that actually teach you how to list your items. You're probably priced too high, your shipping is probably too high, and your titles are probably in incorrect order. So eBay has this information where they tell you want to put the brand first, then what the item actually is, and then keywords. So if you have a vintage Harman watch like this one, if you list this as, so they want the brand first, then what the item actually is, and then you want to put like that it's men's or that it's gold tone, things like that. But you don't want to put gold tone men's Harman watch. You want to put Harman's watch men's gold tone. There's a lot of different tips and tricks, but usually almost every time it's pricing. You think that your items are worth more than they actually are. So when you look up your item, be as specific as possible and then see what the market is actually paying for that item. So a lot of times, for example, I got NFL Street on PS2 this morning with the manual. I have sold that game for $30 multiple times over the last couple years. I still look up what it's going for today. Today it is only going for $20 plus shipping. If I list that for $30 plus shipping, mine will not sell, and everyone else's will sell. So it's important to make sure that you are priced at market. Also, views don't matter. And a lot of times eBay doesn't show you like the true views. Sometimes it's really different than what it actually is. Don't focus on views, only focus on sales. So if you have a good amount of sales, but you have a low amount of views, doesn't matter. Overthinking for sure. But if you have low views and low sales, then you definitely want to make changes. So just really look at your store. You only have 40 items listed. That's close to 0. Like the average person sells 1 item per day for every 250 they have listed. So the average reseller that has 1,000 items only sells 4 per day. If they only had 40 listed, they would only sell 2 items per week. So it's also important to gauge your expectations as well. So if you want to start seeing consistent sales, you're probably going to need more than 40 items unless they are all iPods and AirPods and iPhones. Sorry, why would I still need the dimensions if I was offering free shipping? Oh, just because you want to know. Yeah, you don't have to put them in, but you definitely want to know like what your shipping is going to be. If you already know like what your shipping is going to be relative, then you're good. You don't have to put in the dimensions. You can just skip that step. Sorry, I didn't understand that. I have a thrift store near me that writes in Sharpie on the boxes. Ever run into that? Yeah, they write on Sharpie like on shoes and stuff, on boxes sometimes. It happens. It's kind of annoying because sometimes it diminishes the value of things, but do you ever buy online to resell? Do you buy from eBay to sell on eBay? Yes. James, I do this every single day. It's awesome. I got like I'm constantly buying lots of watches and glasses and cameras and remotes off of eBay and reselling them on eBay. I also buy a ton of items off of my own website, firstclasstreasures.com. A lot of resellers go live there, and I'm able to pick up items between $2 and $5 that sell on eBay between $10 and $40, which is awesome, sometimes even more. And then I also use this app called Deal Soldier, where I'm able to buy things at Walmart and Target and stuff. And I'm also able to get huge discounts and deals on Amazon and Target.com, Walmart.com. So I do a lot of online sourcing. And those are my three methods: is buying lots on eBay. Brian Williams. Oh, I didn't realize that I could hear myself. Brian Williams actually just joined First Class Treasures, so I really appreciate that. First link in the bio for anyone that wants to join that platform. It's a really awesome place to source and to collect. Anyway, buying lots off of eBay and reselling all of the items individually on eBay is awesome. I make a full-time living just from that. And then also buying items off of First Class Treasures in those live shows is awesome. And the app Deal Soldier, which there's also a link in the description, is a game changer as well. If I send someone something on eBay and they have the post office hold it for a while, does that count against my shipping time? I don't know. Unfortunately, I think so. Unless they mark it as delivered. So yeah, unfortunately, I do think if they mark it delivered, no. But if they have the post office hold it, then yeah, it's probably going to count against you. But that happens never. Like everyone, like maybe 1 out of every 2,500 sales. So that's not going to be enough to affect your sales. It's not going to put you below standard or anything like that. So I wouldn't worry about that. Is it better to list 10 each day or find the item first 100, then start listing? It's better to just list your items as they come in. So I personally have a draft bank. It has nothing to do with the algorithm. I don't get more reach if I post 10 every single day, as opposed to just listing 100 items, 40 today, 30 tomorrow, and then 10 the next day. Same results. I believe you're going to get more sales the second method because you listed them and they've been on eBay for longer, so more people can see them. But people have really fallen in love with listing the exact same amount of items every single day because they believe that it grooms the algorithm, which that's a very debatable statement, But if you list items that people are looking for, they will look for them, and when they find them, they will buy them. And if they aren't listed, they won't be able to buy them. So I would just list, if you find 4 really good items per day, list 4 good items per day. If you find 4 one day and 6 the next day and 13 the next day, list 4 and 6 and 13. I have a draft bank though. Sorry, shouldn't be eating this. Shouldn't be having this jerky while I'm trying to talk with you guys. Very rude. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying. I have a draft bank, not for the algorithm, but just so I can maintain a work-life balance. So I list 25 items every single day on eBay from my draft bank. My draft bank right now has 97 items in it. So I have four days worth of listings. And it just helps me maintain my metrics and numbers. Looks like we just sold something on Poshmark. Oh, wow, that's a really good deal for some Morel eyeglasses. Just sold some Morel eyeglasses for 12 bucks. Those usually go for like 30 or 40. So yeah, as you get good items, list them. Don't focus on the algorithm BS. I'm sorry. I know that offends a lot of people and pisses a lot of people off. But eBay wants you to list good items. So list good items when you get them. We have been selling for over a year and just got a store. I see that we can offer coupons and discounts on store. How often do you use these? So every morning, all of my items that have been listed for more than 90 days, I discount 15%. And so if those items are still there 90 days later, then they're going to get marked down another 15% and another 15% until they sell. So every 90 days, I mark down all of my items that have been in my store for at least 90 days. And that's how I do that. You can do coupons if you'd like to. Some people do like daily coupons. Some people have those strategies. I just do a coupon like I would if I owned a business. If I owned a skateboard shop, then on holidays, I want to drive a lot of traffic during Christmas. So I'll do a 20% off coupon for all skating equipment. Or if I was Walmart, I would run huge discounts on Valentine's items the week after Valentine's Day, things like that. So if you want, you can do coupons whenever and however you'd like to. I think they're most effective after 20%. If you just do like a 5 or 10% coupon, don't think it's going to get you a ton of traction. Like think about it. If you were to go to Walmart and you didn't go into Walmart to buy a pair of shoes, but then as you were walking, you saw a pair of shoes and it was like $40 and you're like, I didn't really want to spend $40. And then you saw that there was a 10% off coupon. So they were $4 off. Would that really be enough to get you to buy it? If you walked in 4 shoes, then yes, that would definitely get you to buy it. But if you just kind of saw it, I don't think a 10% off coupon would get most people to make that purchase. But like 25, 33, 50% off, definitely. How do I lower my selling fees? Any suggestions? You can't. You can lower your seller fees by not selling on eBay. So the reason why eBay charges you fees is because they acquire sales for you. They put your items in front of millions of people, and then all they do is say, hey, just give us 13%. If you don't want to pay them 13%, then you can just sell everything at a yard sale or at a flea market or a Facebook marketplace. But you can't just like lower your fees because it's a part of the product and service that eBay offers. Is TJ Maxx a good place to find stuff for reselling? Yes, very, very underrated. I make a ton of money every year from TJ Maxx alone. And I haven't been going to TJ Maxx as much because I've been a bit busier with lower energy. But I'm going to start getting back to TJ Maxx a little bit more because there is a ton of money to be made in TJ Maxx. How's it going, Keith? Thanks for being here. Everyone go check out Vintage Sport Flips here on YouTube if you haven't already. Great channel. Dry erase works on Sharpie. Yeah, you can put dry erase Expo marker on Sharpie and then erase it, and it takes it off a little bit. How does payment work on eBay? Do they deposit directly into my bank account or do I have to transfer it myself? You can set it up to where it will deposit it daily, weekly, or monthly. So my parents sell on eBay as well. They have it deposited every month at the end of the month. I have mine deposited every Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. And then if you are getting a ton of sales or if you just want your money every single day, you can even have your money deposited every single day. When I first started doing this, I just had my money deposited every single day. And some days I would get $900 and other days I would get like 46 bucks. So I just changed it to once per week. But yeah, you just set up your banking information and you select how often you would like to get paid and they deposit it directly. And at any time you can transfer your balance. It usually just takes about 48 hours. Not sure whether to switch to a business account with buyer protection fee in UK as I'm selling single Lego figures. I'm not able to compete with business accounts as they don't have the added fee on top. Oh, I didn't even know that. Yeah, I don't know a lot about UK eBay. I don't know anything about their fees. But yeah, it sounds like that might be what you have to do. If that's what you're noticing, it sounds logical to me. Do you ever go to estate sales? Do you like them or not? Yeah, I love it. I love estate sales. Estate sales are good, especially during the winter, because there aren't yard sales. So estate sales are essentially winter yard sales. And then there's also obviously estate sales throughout the year because people die throughout the year. I like estate sales. You're able to get, a lot of times you're able to get a ton of really good items, and they're usually vintage for really cheap. So yeah, estate sales are a really good way to source inventory. John Doe says, I find listing tedious because I spend too much time cleaning them. Is there such a thing as being too picky perfectionist when it comes to used clothing? Absolutely. Absolutely. For sure. Perfectionism kills profits. I have 98.8% positive feedback, and some people think that I am dumb for that, and I'm a terrible seller for having 98.8%. And if you get a 98.8% on any test in your life, you'd be ecstatic about it. I don't understand why people get so torn up about it on eBay. So people that are perfectionists will get a bad review, and they will spend hours and hours of their business day on the phone or on Facebook with eBay instead of buying more items and listing them. It's crazy. So perfectionism kills profits, especially in that sense. You can be too perfect with how, like, we clean and test all of our items, but like, especially on vacuums, good enough is definitely good enough. Like, a lot of people are just going to immediately use it, so they don't mind that it's dirty because they're about to make it dirty themselves. So every time we get vacuums, we obviously clean them, but we don't like pressure wash them and like clean them with a fine tooth comb, because we just wouldn't be able to list very many vacuums because it would take too long. Same thing with clothing. You don't have to be perfect. Like, everyone's going to tell you that you need 100% positive feedback, that you need to answer every single question that comes to your phone the second that it comes, or else you're somehow a bad business owner. Everyone's going to tell you that your items have to be professionally cleaned. They don't. Like, and if you want that as your business model, you can do that. But all of the best entrepreneurs, in my opinion, they aren't perfectionists. They just do more work and have a bigger capacity to get things done than other people do. So yeah, this video is nothing close to perfect. The lighting in here kind of sucks. This door is open. I don't have any of my social media on Instagram or anything posted anywhere. I don't have, it's my work shelf right here is pretty unorganized. Like, nothing about this is perfect or professional, and I make thousands of dollars a month through YouTube. If I was perfect, I would do significantly less videos because I would be worried about not doing the perfect video. I would spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours editing instead of just shooting and posting content. Same thing applies on eBay. Make your items great, make them presentable, but they do not have to be perfect. As you sell many sunglasses, have you ever sold Cynthia Bailey? If so, how did you research, as the ones I have don't have model numbers? I've never sold Cynthia Bailey, but you just look up other Cynthia Bailey eyeglasses and you can go off of that. Just pay attention to whether it's metal or plastic, if it's cat eye or different style of frames, and then just price accordingly. Yeah, just look at other ones that are very similar and price off of that. And then you can just make your own listing from scratch. On eBay, do you feel it is better to offer free shipping with the shipping baked into the price, or buyer pays shipping with a lower price? This is an interesting question. I don't think anyone can ever truly answer it because every single buyer is so different. eBay suggests to do free shipping, I have done free shipping and calculated shipping and flat rate shipping. I really like charging the buyer shipping. I have found that it actually increases my sales. For some reason, if I list something for $24.87 plus $5.87 in shipping, that is more than $31. But people read $24.87 and they read less than 30. And so even though someone else has their item listed for $29.99 free shipping, mine seems cheaper in that instance, even though it's not, because people are lazy and they don't want to do the math. They just see 24 plus 5 equals 29. So I have found more success in charging people shipping, but I sold a crap ton of items with free shipping as well. Hey Jake, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for approving me. Thanks for being here, Mike. Appreciate it. I think you're talking about approving you on first class treasures. Of course, man. I love it. Higher level eBay stores do get fee discounts, FYI. Yeah, they do. It's not. I mean, like like you can contact eBay if you are selling 10,000 books per day, and they will definitely bring your fees down. But if you're coming to a live reseller Q&A on YouTube, you probably are not selling 10,000 items per day. Hey J-Ride, how's it going, Jackie? Appreciate you being here. Sorry if this has been asked. Before I read this, don't be sorry if a question has already been asked. I love answering the same question over and over and over again. So never feel ashamed. That's like a big word for that, but I don't know. Can't think of a better one. Never feel ashamed to like ask me the same question, even if you yourself have already asked it before and I didn't answer it in a way that made sense to you. Ask it again. I love to help people out, and I will answer the same question 52 times. I have answered the same question about promoted listings like 32 times in 1 2-hour live show. So, because people are in and out, people are asking questions at different times. People asked the same question 10 minutes ago, but the person now asking it again wasn't there. So it's completely fine. But it says, outside of picking a niche that you already know about, how are resellers able to find such a wide variety of items to profit from? Example, I know Jack about shoes. The best way, so there's a few ways to do this. Number one is just watching videos of other creators. I do what sold videos all the time. The Commonwealth Flipper does what sold videos all the time. Watch these videos and just begin to understand what things are selling, and then you will have that kind of as a compass as you're sourcing. More important is just look up a ton of stuff. I was telling someone in the thrift store this morning that I have spent over 100 hours looking up keyboards. People are always like, which keyboard should I look for? And I always say the ones that are selling. I look up every single keyboard in the thrift store a lot of times. If I've never seen the keyboard before, I look it up. And you can just do that with every single item. I truly think that you should spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. I have spent so many hours looking up remote control model numbers in thrift stores. I've spent so many hours looking up sunglasses, looking up toys, looking up electronics, looking up shirts, looking up jackets. So watch other people and learn from them. Look up every item that you think might have value in a thrift store. And then number three is you can just type into eBay golf clubs and then filter to clubs that have sold for at least $30 and then just scroll through and see what you see. Oh, looks like there's a lot of TaylorMades. I'm going to keep my eye out for TaylorMades. I'm going to keep my eye out for Ping. I'm going to keep my eye out for Titleist. And then every time you find a Titleist, look up that actual Titleist, because most of them sell for really good money and sell really fast, but a lot of them still don't. So you still got to look up every single item as you find it. Lag, how's it going? Appreciate you being here, man. Haven't seen you in a while. Lag, what a guy. Your Eagles won. Congrats. What about discount season like Black Friday? Is it smart to take advantage of those as a reseller later on? Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. The reason why big businesses make a ton of money is because they're really smart. So if you just copy what they're doing, you're going to make a ton of money as well. Do you sell internationally on eBay? Would you recommend it? Yes. I sell internationally every single day. I think
Sorry.
we shipped off 3 international orders this morning. And why not make more money? You know, I like definitely. It's like, hey, whatever state you're in, Sarah, I'm just going to imagine that you sell in Ohio. Why not also sell to Michigan? Unless, of course, you're a Buckeyes fan and you hate Michigan football, then maybe you actually don't want to sell to Michigan. But if you live in Ohio, why not sell to Utah and Texas and California? Just you sell to as many places as you can. Only if it's a family-run estate sale. There's company-run estate sales are really good too. Like company-run estate sales usually specialize in something, but then they might not know anything about electronics, or they might not know anything about Boy Scout pins. You know, there's just always things that fall through the cracks. And some company-run estate sales just want to sell things super cheap as well. But yeah, typically if the estate sale is going to suck, it's usually a company-run one because they're trying to get top dollar for everything. How do you feel about Foster Grant glass frames? It doesn't matter how I feel. It only matters what the market feels. So if you type in Foster Grant frames and there are 8,000 listed and 49 sold, which is probably a pretty accurate guess, don't buy Foster Grant. If there are 49 listed and 38 sold, buy Foster Grant. So it has like it does like I don't buy items. I don't buy brands. I just buy sell-through rate and profit vehicles. So the 49 Foster Grant eyeglasses that have sold in this made-up scenario are probably hard to find very high quality Foster Grants. So those ones I would buy. But I do not buy all Ping golf clubs. A lot of them suck and will not sell because the market doesn't want them. So how do I feel about Foster Grant frames? I feel nothing about Foster Grant frames. This kind of sounds funny, right? I don't feel anything toward them. If they sell, they sell. If they don't, they don't. So you just have to look up every single item that you find. If it's got a smell or stain, I'll wash them. Otherwise, spray some 100 proof vodka. Gets out Goodwill smell. Oh, nice. I've never tried that. Do you put like a 100 proof vodka like in the washer, or do you just like dump it on the clothes and let them dry? Sounds expensive. It is yard sale season here in GA. Do you check comps in front of sellers at yard sales or not? I don't personally. Oh, I do. I look up every single item before I buy it, no matter what. It's a business policy that I have. Even if I sold it yesterday, I still look it up today. Just got my iPad in the mail today, getting it all set up and ready to sell soon. That's awesome, Mike. I'm excited. I'm excited to have you sell on First Class Treasures. It's going to be sweet. Yeah, and if any of you guys would like to try out live selling, First Class Treasures is a great place to start. It's a lot less intimidating than Whatnot. I will most likely be there to help out. And the community over there is really awesome. So, sold the keyboard for $800 already. Guys are sleeping on keyboards. I sell keyboards weekly for $40 to $80, and sometimes I've never sold one for $800, but I sold one for $380 once. It was a World of Warcraft special edition one. Had a ton of different buttons that you could like key to be certain spells or something. It's pretty dope. Hey, first time me catching you live in a while now. Hey, appreciate you being here. Semi-tax question. Have you ever had an experience with having a vendor booth or storage rental? Do you think those rentals would be tax deductible? I'm not a tax expert, so it's very important to consult a financial expert and tax expert. But yes, that is something that you can write off for sure. It's very tax deductible. If you pay for a warehouse, definitely write off your warehouse. If you pay for a storage unit, definitely write off your storage unit. If you have a room in your house dedicated to eBay, write off your office. Write it all off. Appreciate that, Twisted. Nick, you're one of my favorite commenters. Super logical and brash, kind of like me. Nick says, I know people don't always believe it, But looking up item after item in the thrift store is the best way. You also run into the same items over and over. You learn what not to look up and it gets easier. Yep. Look it all up, guys. This morning, like, I wish you guys could follow me around in the thrift store. I practice what I preach. When I walk in the thrift store, especially at open, I do a clean sweep through the whole thrift store, and I grab all of the items that I know or think will be profitable. I put them in my cart. I do a second sweep, and I do a more detailed look. And then I take all of the items over to a desk, and I take out each individual item, and I look it up. And I make a go back pile and a purchase pile. I look up everything before I buy it. I picked up a pair of Ray-Ban W1430s for $1, having problems trying to come up with the price. 5 listed from $79 to $250, and 1 sold for $49.99 7 months ago. Well, are they frames or sunglasses? I'm just going to assume, because if they're sunglasses, then you're going to be able to sell them for like $200. But if they're scratched, you're going to have to sell them for frames only, and I would just put them up as $50 as well. That's what I would do. I bought my first lot of sunglasses and shades a month and a half ago. Sold a couple so far. I have learned quite a bit so far. Yeah, that's another thing about buying lots is you also learn a lot. So I don't recommend a ton of people buying lots, especially in the beginning. But as you learn and grow in reselling, lots can be a game changer. So yeah, sounds like you're doing great. How long it took to get your first sale? I sold my first item the day after I listed it. So within 24 hours. What do you do if you have no internet and cannot look up items on site? I haven't run into this, but I'd probably just buy the item. It's important to look items up, but if you have no internet, if you have a good feeling about it, buy it. And then if you realize that it has a disastrous sell-through rate and no one wants it, just don't list it. Just take the $4 loss or whatever it is. Well, guys, it looks like I just sold something on Bonanza because I just got a random PayPal payment. Must have sold it on Bonanza. This is Jack's Clothing, by the way. Oh, I figured. Oh, and you're on Facebook. Okay, that makes sense. Jackie Jacks, ETMC Clark. Appreciate you being here, Jax. Maybe you can co-sell with me for the first time. Oh, I'd love to, Mike. Yeah, I'd love to co-stream with you on First Class Treasures. First Class Treasures is awesome. I sell there as well. Yeah, Jack's Clothing is one of the top sellers over there on First Class Treasures. Do you ever have people at thrift stores, yard sales, flea markets, etc. get frustrated or act salty if you are standing there looking everything they have up? I try to be discreet and walk away first. No, people don't care about you. like a lot of, like, we are the main character in our own stories, and everyone else is the main character in their story. And they, like, I have learned that in the gym, some people judge you, but 99 don't. 99% of people just like don't care. They're there at the gym to take care of their own bodies. Why do they care about yours? Other people, like, when was the last time, Twisted, that you looked at someone's screen in public? Like, someone is at a gas station and they're on Snapchat. How many times in the last 10 years of your life have you looked at a stranger's phone screen? I don't think I ever have. Like, every once in a while, a stranger like will be in line and they'll be like, "Have you seen this?" And they'll show me their phone screen. But like, I'm not just like, people don't care, you know? Like, a lot of us think that people are judging us or looking at us, but for all they know, you're just at the thrift store and you're on Instagram or Snapchat. So people really don't care. I used my storage as tax deductible up to $1,500 in Utah. I did as well. I've been selling on eBay since October 24th or 2024. I post and run sales on a consistent basis, and I'm still only making a sale or two a week. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I feel by now I should be making sales. How many items do you have listed? If you only have like 40, then you're on track. If you have several hundred, then yes, you are struggling and you need to make some changes. So if you're still here, Danny, let me know. Let me know what your store size is. Howdy, everyone. I'm over here selling Christmas in April. Great show. That's what I'm talking about. Wolfman Goodies is another awesome YouTube channel. He does what sold videos almost daily. I'd say every other day, right, Chad? Check him out if you haven't already. Wolfman's Goodies. Chad is an awesome channel. Very good point. Appreciate it. Sexy Skunk. Binge watch your videos and learned a lot. I have a death pile of about 20,000 items and I'm overwhelmed a bit. Where should I start? At the beginning, okay? Don't just grab an item and list it. That's it. That's all you gotta do. You just have to actually start. You can also sell some of your items to me if they're good. I'll buy them anywhere you are in the country. But yeah, you just have to start. Like literally, you're just overthinking it and you're overwhelming yourself. Having 20,000 unlisted items is overwhelming. But what is overwhelming you more is just thinking about, well, what if I list it wrong? What if I sell it too fast and I don't get the full value of the item? Which I hate to offend people, but that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like a lot of people will sell something same day and they'll be like, oh, I listed it too low. It's like, why are you complaining about making money? Like if I bought 1,000 items a day and sold 1,000 items a day, I would much prefer that than buying 15 items per day and selling 15. You know, like we have stores of multiple thousand items and we're complaining that we get a sale. It's wild. But yeah, just start. Just list an item. And then list 2. And then list 4. Did you say Bonanza? What is that? How does it work? Bonanza is another reselling platform. All you do is you sign up and then you give it permission to take all of your eBay items and post them on Bonanza as well. And then what's really cool is when your items sell on Bonanza, they delist it for you on eBay. Just go to bonanza.com and set it up. It's really nice. It's very slow though. I have 3,000 active items and I sell on average 3 items a month there. So it's literally no additional work and you kind of get what you pay for, right? So it gets me 1 extra sell per week, sometimes not on average. Please do a video on shipping. Awesome, Faith. I already have like 5 or 6 on shipping. So look those up because they apply to today, but I'll do another one as well. I was just at a yard sale and they had a high price on something. I'm like, you mind if I look it up? And they're like, no, please take your time. Yeah, just look stuff up. Just look them up. 20 item death pile is madness. That is. It's insane. Do you think first class treasures and district will ever be good for static selling? It seems like a ghost town from that aspect. I sell more statically on first class treasures than I do Bonanza for sure. First class treasures, we're getting static sales every single day. It's nothing huge, but almost every single day we have at least 1 or 2 static sales. It's pretty nice. They use Google listings to attract buyers, and then also my and other resellers' influence helps get buyers. So yeah, I sell statically on first class treasures all the time. 350. Yeah, you should be selling 1 or 2 per day every single day. So Danny, there's so many things that could help you, right? So I recommend watching my 2 most viewed videos. The first one, I think it's 22 items that sell on eBay, something like that. It just shows you what to look for. And then the other video is a complete guide on how to sell on eBay. Just watch that video multiple times and apply some tips and just make sure that you're usually, Danny, and maybe this isn't you, but this is the average reseller, your items just kind of suck. You might have 350 items that just have like a 5% sell-through rate. So if you continue to just get better and better and better items, you're going to have more and more and more sales. I'm a supporting character in my story, background character. So who's the main character? Is it Jesus? Because that's a great main character in your story. Jesus should be the main character in all of our stories, and we should be the secondary one. Hey, share thoughts. Thanks for the $1.99 super chat. Really appreciate that. You're awesome. Beard King Picker, how you doing, Alex? That's another great YouTube channel that you guys should check out as well. Beard King Picker. Thanks, Jake. Daily for 2 years now. I broke the 10,000 watch hours this week. I saw that post on Instagram. I saw your little chart. That's awesome, man. Keep it up. You're doing great, man. I'm proud of you. Kevin owns it, LOL. Yeah, it's a joke that Kevin owns Bonanza. He doesn't, though. He does own Dibdit, but he does not own Bonanza. Well, he owns like 1/87th of Dibdit because they have like 59 partners, but he owns a small sliver of Dibdit. I have 120 listed, 62 sold, 2.2% conversion rate, 0.6 sell-through rate. Is that good? It's all relative. If it's paying your bills, then yeah. But so 16 sold with 120 listed, that's about a 12% sell-through rate. If you have 120 listed, I would want to see at least 60 sold if you want to be on track. But if you've only been doing it for 30 days, then yeah, you're doing good, because in 30 days, that 16 will triple. But 15 days ago, you didn't have 120 listed. You probably only had like 40 or 50 or 60. And so your store is growing over time. So you're on track, man. 2.2 conversion is also very strong. It's pretty good. So I think you're heading in a good direction. I wouldn't fall in love with just listing as many items as you can. Just keep trying to find the fastest sell-through rate, highest quality items you can. But yeah, 30 days in, you're selling an item every other day. I think you're doing pretty good. Just keep it up. Have you tried buying Amazon pallets for resale? No, and I don't recommend it for the average beginner, because a lot of times you spend $700 just to make $900, and after fees, you make like $120. And if you have 3 returns, then you lose money. Buying items piece by piece, item by item at thrift stores and garage sales is by far and away the best way to do eBay. Your mom is the main character in your story. Nice. Congrats, Wolfman. It can't be the items. It's always the algorithm, and eBay thinks you're stinky, so they hide your items. This is true, Nick. Very true. The eBay algorithm is stopping you from making sales because the eBay algorithm doesn't want to make money. I know that Nick is joking, because he makes comments. He makes opposite comments all the time to the haters. So appreciate you, Nick. But yeah, no, it really is. We worship this false god called the eBay algorithm, and it's frustrating. I will keep watching you. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, Cher. And I appreciate the $1.99 super chat. Well, guys, it's just under an hour and we have 0 questions. So if any of you guys have any last-minute questions, I would love to answer just a few more, get to the full hour, and then we'll go our separate ways and hopefully make $1 million. But if you guys have any questions about eBay, about Amazon, Poshmark, Mercari, First Class Treasures, if you guys have any questions about yard sales or thrift stores, taxes, investments, finance, if you guys have any questions about anything like that, go ahead and put them in the chat. I'm going to eat this last piece of jerky, and if there are no questions, then we'll end it. There are currently no new questions, and 84 of you in here. Do you have videos that will help me on taxes? Yes, I have a video. I think it was like 6 or 7 videos ago. But if you just type in JRag Flips taxes, there will be a video that should help you out on taxes. But again, I'm not a tax professional. Do you like the new update on eBay? Yeah, I think that all sites need to be updated. And even if I don't love 100% of the updates, I like continual update and progression. So there's nothing in this update that like I disliked. So yeah, it's fine. I appreciate all the advice. I'm between jobs right now, so reselling is pretty much my only income source at the moment. We'll continue to go through your videos. Appreciate it. Yeah, it sounds like you're doing great. I had to step away. What store review? I don't do store reviews. I believe that you should teach a man to fish, not give him a fish. So the best way to learn how to do this is to actually sit down and 1, watch videos on how to get better, and 2, just actually working within your business. So I don't do store reviews because I don't think it actually helps people become better. It just fixes like one issue, and then they just continue to not learn anything. So, but there are other resellers that do store reviews, but I don't. I see where others have sold the same things that I haven't sold in months or years. What am I doing wrong? There's just so many answers to that question, and a lot of times it's just it's not your turn yet, you know. Sometimes you do everything right. Like I played basketball in high school, and I was like OCD and a perfectionist, and I just like focused on my form and my elbow, how many inches I jumped off the ground, like where my center of gravity was, my follow through, where my eyes were looking at the net. I did everything perfect every single time, and I still missed more than half of my shots. It's just part of life. So just keep improving every single what you are possibly doing wrong. I'm not saying you are doing this, but it could be you're not getting better each day. As long as you are getting better each day, you're not doing anything wrong. Sometimes you don't get the result that you want, but as long as you're progressing every day, you are what they call Gucci golden. Thanks, Jake. When I get all set up and ready, I will send you a message on District. Appreciate it, Mike. I can be evidence that really what matters is what you source. I have a 300% sell-through rate this year. That's awesome. People don't believe that because they just want to list cassettes and hats. But you can definitely have more sold than you currently have listed. Any inspirational tips for when things get slow or you start to feel a bit burnt out? Focus on your health and wellness. It's harder to get burnt out when you have a ton of energy. The more energy you have, the less likely you will get burnt out. You can still get burnt out with energy, but at least you're going to have energy to focus your time into something else that's productive. So honestly, taking care of your body, like don't eat McDonald's, just never eat McDonald's again, and you will probably never really experience burnout. It's crazy how it happens. Go to the gym, eat whole foods, get good sleep, enjoy your time with the people most important in your life. I really think that's the best ways to do that. Do you feel like it makes things a bit more difficult on mobile? No. No, I do. I run my eBay business pretty much through my cell phone. And yeah, I honestly don't even know what you're talking about. It all feels the same to me. Would you invest in a waffle maker? Depends on the waffle maker. I sell waffle makers every single day. Not every single day, but I sell a ton of Black & Decker and Villaware and Tony Tiano's waffle makers all the time. So for reselling, I make an investment in waffle makers all the time. We don't have a personal waffle maker though. We don't have one that we use at home. Ever go to those large swap meets or flea markets? Are they worthwhile? Every single one is different, especially because every single seller is different. So yours might suck while someone else's might be good. So that's just not a question that I can answer for you because I don't even know where you live, but maybe you live in Wisconsin, maybe you live in Utah, maybe you live in Chicago, maybe you live in New York or Miami. You just have to go and see for yourself. But yeah, every single one is just completely different. I have 4 broken DVD VCR combo players, lot or trash. If they are, like, just go to eBay, type in the model number, and then filter to sold, and then filter to 4 parts. And then you tell me. If there are some sold, then sell them. If there are no sold, then throw them away. If they're Magnavox or Sony, they will definitely sell broken. If they're Sylvania, they probably won't. Are there any items or categories that you do not sell anymore because the juice isn't worth the squeeze for you? Yeah, this is every single day. There are items that I won't sell because they aren't profitable. But like specific items and categories, I haven't come across one. Like there is always a profitable item in every category. And that is my job. I don't sell watches or eyeglasses or remotes. I just sell things that have a fast sell-through rate. So if I find an item that I think is worth it and I look it up and eBay confirms that it's worth it, then I sell it. but I haven't come across a category that is dead for me. I'm looking to sell comics on my eBay shop. Any tips for that niche? When it comes to niche selling, just make sure that you have your processes set up and the shipping is the exact same every time, no matter what. And your processes will be a lot faster and you'll have less stress. Other than that, learn keywords. Like I know in the comics, there are a lot of different keywords, like a variant and sketch art, first edition, low print, things like that. I started a week ago, made $219. That's awesome. Beautiful pastures. And it sounds like you live in a really beautiful place. So yeah, you're winning in life. Congrats. How does shipping charge work on first class treasures? It's very similar to eBay and whatnot. So when we're doing live shows, what I do is if I sell like all small items like these watches, the first item will be $5 in shipping, and then every item after that is only $1. So that's why the live shows are so awesome, because you can really buy a ton of items for really, really good, cheap, discounted shipping. And then on like static listings, it's just exactly like eBay. Nathan, you're just making random statements. I'm not sure if they're all like supposed to be together. But if you want to ask a question, work with it and don't complain. That's what I'm talking about. I started selling a week ago, sold 4 items. I owe eBay money. Oh. I have real used AirPods that I'm trying to sell on eBay. Don't try, just do it. Those are the easiest things to sell on eBay. Just list them. Get them listed at market price and they will sell this week. I sell them every single day. Thumbs up, just caught your live stream. Thanks for being here, Texas lady. Appreciate you coming out. Haven't seen you in a minute. Good to hear from you. How do you weave your faith into your business, specifically when it comes to reselling? Sometimes I can feel like I'm taking advantage of people's ignorance. There is nothing like don't feel that way. You are providing a service and a product for someone that needs it. That's the end of the story. like there's nothing that's immorally wrong about reselling. Now, if you are at a thrift store and you find a $15 toy and a boy in the thrift store really likes it and asks you if he can have it, as a Christian, I'd give it to him. I'd let him have it, but you don't have to do that. There's nothing wrong with buying items that have already been discarded and giving them good new life. Because if you don't buy it, there's also a very good chance that it just ends up under your feet underneath a swing set in a park one day, because people just throw crap away. Sometimes I wonder if people know the product research page exists. Honestly, you don't even need the product research page. You just look up sold comps. But yeah, a lot of people don't use those resources. To sell on eBay, and eBay keeps flagging it for fake or counterfeit. How can I fix this issue? Thanks, Jay. Sell 5,000 used items and you will not get flagged when selling new ones. So if you are a new seller and you've never sold anything and the first thing you're trying to sell is ultra fast, high sell-through rate new items that get faked every single day, eBay is just not even going to take a chance with you. Once you sell 500 shirts, I don't think you'll have an issue listing your AirPods. But if it's like if you haven't sold anything or you've only sold like 11 items, they're just not going to let you list it because it's too big of a risk for them. I do not rely on eBay for income, for bills, etc., and that allows me to focus on the art of it. And I have a basement to store product, and all of my inventory was either profit or free inventory. That's awesome, Cher. Thoughts? Especially if you're in a situation like you are right now. My biggest advice that I can give you is don't focus on your store size. Right now you have 120 listed and you're selling 1 per day. And you think to yourself, oh, if I get to 250, I'll start selling 2 per day. And then if I get to 1,000, I'll start selling 4 per day. And it doesn't always work that way, because if you could already find enough items to have 1,000 items that have a fast sell through, you would have already listed those items. So a lot of times in pursuit of making our store a certain size, we sacrifice the quality of our items. So share thoughts, especially in your situation. No rush. Stay small. Only buy items or find items and list them that have a fast sell-through rate, and you will have a beautiful business. It's harder to build a business when you have to rely on it for bills. That is true. When it's your lifeline, things can get pretty stressful. You seem like such a genuine, nice person. Thank you for all the info. I hope to collab with you when I get there. My store is in better condition. We can call it Syracuse to Syracuse. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Do you do you live in Syracuse, Utah? While posting my shades and eyeglass frames, I seen your eBay. Now I copy your listing format. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, no, go ahead. It's what it's there for. I love selling waffle makers. Absolutely hate cleaning them, though. Yeah, some of them are nasty. Says I'm an above average seller. What does that mean, and what are the benefits of top rated seller? Not sure how to get there either. I'm a top rated seller. It basically just means that you ship your items when you say you're going to. That's really all it takes, I think. Just make sure you don't have a ton of INADs, item not as described, and ship your items out when you say you're going to ship them, and you'll be top rated. Sorry, that was a pretty lame answer, but are you a proponent of selling small lots of items? Why or why not? I just do what the eBay data tells me. So if I look up this watch and it's worth $80, I'm just going to sell it for $80. But if I see that it's only worth $15 and it has a really low sell-through rate, I'll pair it with 2 more watches, and then I will sell all 3 of them for $10 each, so $30 plus shipping, instead of 15 individually, and that will get them to move faster. So it all just depends on what the eBay data is telling you. But yeah, I sell small, medium, and large lots all the time. I keep getting the urge to get physical space to sell stuff. At what point would you think that would be worth a try in my reselling journey? Only if you can afford it, and you can't afford it unless you can pay for it in cash twice. So if you're only making $1,000 a month, do not go get a storage unit that costs you $500, because that's going to, every time you sell an item and you make a $10 profit, you're actually only making a $5 profit, because your storage unit is eating into half of your profit. So you can definitely get a storage unit when you need it, but I think it's much more advantageous to just focus on a smaller store that sells faster than a larger store that needs more space and sells slower. But if you just keep building your store and you keep selling more and more and more because you're listing good items and you're finding them faster and faster, then definitely go get some storage when you can afford it. It just ebb and flow with your business. Get it when you need it. Do you have a photo booth? Nope, I just have a desk with some lights on it. You hired a maid? No, that's my wife. What is the lowest sell-through rate you will get on an item? Like 30%. I have a lot of eyeglasses that have a slow sell-through rate, but I like to have faster than like a 50% or faster is usually what I buy at like thrift stores and yard sales and stuff. Thanks, beautiful pastures. Oh, I didn't know it existed. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Cindy. Sorry about that. Word nunca get that paper, my G. Sure. How do you apply the tax form eBay into your price so you make money and not lose it? Sorry, I didn't understand that question. Just make sure that you're selling your item. Make sure that you're buying items for $1 to $5 and selling them for 20 to 40, and you'll make money. I didn't understand your question. Sorry. Do you ever worry about getting max feedback, like using thank you cards or writing a message after the item was delivered? Nope. I automate everything, so I leave automatic good feedback, and that gets a lot of people to come back and leave good feedback for me. But yeah, I don't worry about that. I've been selling on eBay for a while now, and I've sold over 100 items, but what you're saying is I have to sell around 500 items. That's just an arbitrary number, but the more items you sell, the more trust eBay is going to have in you. So like I've never had an issue listing those items because before I listed my first pair of AirPods, I had already sold like 5,000 items. I've sold over 10,000 items on eBay. So I don't know. Syracuse, New York. That's what I thought. But yeah, it's not, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man. If eBay's not letting you list those items, then list them on Mercari. How do you apply the tax form eBay into pricing so you make money and not lose it? I still don't understand. I sell propane and propane accessories. You do? I feel like you might be joking, like. How should I go about starting a YouTube for flipping? I would definitely. There's a lot of different YouTube ways you can go on YouTube. Like, what I would recommend is selling a lot of stuff first, so that way people actually have a reason to listen to you. Or you can say, hey, I just barely started my eBay business. I don't really know what I'm doing. Come along the ride with me and let's learn together. You could also do that. But yeah, same thing. Don't be a perfectionist. Just post videos that you like, and other people like you will like them as well, and you'll grow an audience. It's really fun. And also, like, you got to play the YouTube game. Like, it's got to be fun, but it also has to make you money. And sometimes we only want it to be fun, or we only want to make money. And so if you're only trying to make money through YouTube, you're going to hate it. It's just going to become a job. So try to find a balance in between the two. How do you inventory your items? I put all of my items in my 2-car garage. All of my small items I put in little Ziploc baggies, and I write a SKU number on them. Also, I know you have videos on sell-through rate, but can you explain it here one more time? Yeah, of course. It's very simple. You can use whatever sell-through rate equation you'd like to. Some people get like super hung up on this for some reason. I personally think that those people are kind of dumb, but whatever. If this has 50 sold and 50 listed, you divide 50 by 50, which equals 100%. If there are 100 listed and 20 sold, you take 20 divided by 100, which equals 20. So that's a 20% sell-through. If there is an item that has 357 listed, and then you filter to sold, and there are 68 sold in the last 90 days, then you take 68 divided by, what did I say, 357? And that has a 19% sell-through rate. Okay, so those first two numbers is the sell-through rate. Because you times it by 100, but you don't need to. So if you have 554 sold and only 12 listed, 12 sold and 554 listed, then you have a 2% sell-through rate. So don't buy those items. Cindy, I don't know what page you're talking about. Didn't know that page exists on eBay. What page? Sorry, I've talked about like 87 different concepts in the last 6 minutes, so I just have no idea what you're talking about. Lag, what a guy. Do you have any programs integrated to track all of your numbers? I've been trying to do it with Google Spreadsheets, and it's a pain getting it set up. There's a link in the description for my Reseller Genie. I don't use it. eBay gives you all of the information you need except for your cost of goods and your inventory. But yeah, I don't use any fancy softwares. I just have my business credit card that I make all my purchases on, and then all the other information that I need is in the eBay Seller Hub. Do you have a gas mask? If you do, put it on. I do have a gas mask for sale on eBay for $100 plus shipping. I don't know why you want me to put it on, though. Thanks, got it. Thanks for the $2 again. Share thoughts. But yeah, guys, we've been going for an hour and 20 minutes. We are out of questions. It was fun. I had a great time answering your guys' questions. I'm going to try to do these weekly, these live Q&As weekly. And so I appreciate everything you guys do for me. I am so grateful that you guys just take the time to watch my videos and listen to me talk. Appreciate it. You guys have a wonderful day. Go make $1 million.